Okay. We're on Yud Zayin 17. Talmid Shenida L'chvodo, a Talmid that the excommunication was because of COVID, not because of somebody did an Aveira. Nidui. The cherem is a cherem. The Tanya. Menuda l'Rav, if somebody was excommunicated to the Rebbe, Menuda l'Talmid, the Talmid has to stay away from him too. Menuda l'Talmid, however, let's say somebody has to stay away from a Talmid, ain't a Menuda l'Rav. The Rav can have connection with him. L'Rav hu de'ena Menuda. Halakula ama Menuda. But everybody else accepts the excommunication by the fact that the person insulted the Talmud. Because Lamai, either Mila Dishmai, if we're talking about Averis, well, everybody, even an Adam Gadol, if he commits Averis, there's no solution to that because ein Chochma, vein Tfuna, vein Eitzel neged Hashem. Elalav lechvod atzmo. We're talking about nidui because of personal honor. On Rav Yosef Tzum Rabbanon Avedina L'Navshe B'Milsa D'Psikulei. If for a Talmid Chacham, he doesn't need to go to Besdin. He can make the din by himself if it's clear to him. If somebody was, bizoyon to him, if somebody was acting to him in an unbecoming manner. There was a Talmid Chacham. There was rumors about him that he was a balavera. What should we do? L'shamte, put him into cherem. Tzrichile rabbanon. The Chacham need him. Lo l'shamte komischis maschil shmei d'shmaya. But then people are going to say you can commit averas and there's no problem. So they asked, did you hear anything about this? The lips of a coin will watch das. The Torah yivakshu mipiu, and you should be mevakish Torah from his mouth. Ki malach Hashem tzvakosu. So im doma harav lamalach Hashem. The Rav has to be like a malach Hashem in terms of his behavior. Yivakshu Torah mipiu. Then you should learn Torah from him. V'im lav yivakshu Torah mipiu. But if not, you shouldn't learn Torah from such a person. So after Rav Yehuda heard this, and this Tzorman Rabbanon, there were rumors that he was a balavarian. Shamte Rav Yehuda. So Rav Yehuda put him into cherem. However, l'sof ichlish Rav Yehuda. Rav Yehuda got sick and was going to die. Also Rabbanon l'shayula bey. The Chachamim came to visit him. V'asu iyu nami badayu. This guy that Rav Yehuda put into cherem came as well. Kadchaz Rav Yehuda chayich, and Rav Yehuda was smiling at him. Omer lei. So the guy said, "Lo mistayach, isn't it enough to shamte la'ugav that you put me into cherem? Elachuchi nami chayich me, and you're laughing at me? Omer lei lav b'didchom, I'm not laughing or smiling at you. Elachuchi azlinan lahu alma b'dicha dasoy da'afilu l'gaver kavosech lo chanifi lei." I'm going to a world where I'm glad I'm going with the knowledge that I was not. Look, a chanif is like a tuchas leker. That even you were a great man, but I wasn't. I treated you the way I was supposed to treat you. I didn't forget about the fact that you were doing averes. I called you on it. Now, nach nafshed Rav Yehuda. Rav Yehuda passed away. Also lebei midrasha. So this guy would put into cherem, who had been put into cherem by Rav Yehuda, came to the yeshiva. Armelu shruli. So he asked to be matir. Please matir the cherem that Rav Yehuda put me in. We don't have someone who could undo the cherem that a person as great as Rav Yehuda put you in. You go to the Nasi. The Nasi could be matir you, the Lishulach. So he went to the Nasi. Ravami. So the Nasi said to Ravami, Puk ayin bedine. Go look. What would happen between them? What were the facts of the case? And if there are grounds that we should be matir. Ian Rabami bedine. So Rabami investigated. Rabami came out that, okay, I think we could be matir him. Ahmed Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani al Rag. Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani was one of the elder Gedolim that hadn't come to the yeshiva in years and happened to show up that day. The Omar. and said, Uma shivcha shel beis Rebbe. The maid of Rebbe, we're going to see, also put someone into cherem. And lo noagu chachamim kalas rosh b'nidu yashol shonim. The chachamim were careful not to be matir the person that the maid of Rebbe put into cherem for 3 years. Yehuda chavereinu alachas kama v'kama. So Rav Yehuda, who put this guy into cherem, how much more so we should be careful not to be matir the neder. And Omer Rav Zeir man dekaman da'asai yidna hay sabbat b'chem midrasha. Wow, what an occasion that there were years that this elder had not come to the yeshiva. And now he showed up on this day. It must be a simon from Shemaim that we should be not matir, and therefore lo sharale. And they did not matir him. So the guy left crying. Also zibura utrake amse. A wasp came and bit him on his genitals, and he died. I guess it's a simon that he was that his averis had to do with sexuality. Arasa the Chasidi. So they wanted to bury him in the cave where a lot of Chasidim are buried. Now we know what a Chassid is. A Chassid is somebody who goes lifnei mishuras adin. There's din, and then there are people who go beyond the din. That's where the Chasidim were. Or we could have a whole discussion here. What does it mean, Chassid? Because remember, 1,000 years later, Yehuda Chassid in Germany, in Worms, created Chassid. It was a brand. It was like pietists. They lived poor. They did service to people. It's not Hasidism as we know it. It was Sefer HaChasidim written by Rav Yehuda Chassid in the year 1300 in Worms. The Hasidic movement established 400 years later by the Baal Shem Tov was a completely different movement. They call themselves Hasidim, but it's a different thing. So we could have a debate, what are we talking about here, Hasidi? But whatever it is, they tried to bury him in the cave of the Hasidim, V'lo Kiblu, but there was a snake there. Didn't allow them to go in. However, Ailula Marasa Dedaina V'Kiblu. There was a cave where all the Dayanim were buried, and there they buried him there. My time, and the Avid Rabbi Loi. Because like Rabbi Loi, the time Rabbi Loi, Imroya Adam Sheyitzram is Gabrelov. Person has a Yetzer Hara, and he can't defeat it. Yelech Lamakam Shein Makir Moso. There's an answer for such a person. Go to a place where you're not recognizable. V'yilbash Schoirim, V'yisatev Schoirim. You should dress incognito. And then V'yasa Mashalibo Chafetz, and violate what your Yetzer Hara is telling you to do. V'yichal Hashem Shamayim B'farhesya. And don't be Mechal Hashem Shamayim B'farhesya. So this Dayan was a great man. He was a Balavarian. He was taught. Testimony was given by other Dayanim in the Mara that he from then on they don't know him, and he's not going to do any Averis there. Shivcha shel Beis Rebbe Mahi. What's the story that it said the Shivcha shel Beis Rebbe put someone into Cherem? The Amsa de Rebbe, there was a maid of Rebbe, the Chazisa Lu Gavod Avamochi Livno Godel. There was a father who was striking his adult son. Amra Leviel Gavod B'Shamta, we have to put him into Cherem. The Ka'over Mishum Lifnei Iver Lo Sitein Mechshol. There's an Avera. Don't put a stumbling block to an Iver. Now what's going to happen? If a father strikes his adult son, so his adult son is going to strike him back. But you're not allowed to strike your parent. So you're going to be you're violating lifnei iver. The Tanya lifnei iver lo titein michshol. The maki liv no gadol hakosam medaber. It's talking about if a father strikes his adult son. Reish Lakish have a menater pardesa. Reish Lakish was a guard over an orchard. Also gavrev kachel teine. A certain person came and stole figs and was eating figs. Ramabei kolav lo ashkach be. So Reish Lakish raised his voice, chased him away, didn't listen. So Reish Lakish said, I'm going to put it into Cherem. No, you Reish Lakish should be in Cherem. Because I owe you money. There's no din to be put into Cherem if you owe somebody money. Take me to Bezdin. You putting the Cherem, you have no right. Him putting it to Cherem, he had right. So umayta kante. So what should you do? Zilagabi delishma. Go apologize to him. So lo yadana late. So Reish Lakish didn't know where the guy was. Armale zilagabi nasiya delishma. Go by the nasi and he'll matter you. The Tanya. Nidu ve'ni yodea mi nido. If somebody was put in the cherem, you don't know who did it. Yelech etzel nasi v'yater lo nidu. Go to the nasi and the nasi will undo it. Ravuna be'usha iskinu. Av bezdin shesarach ein menadinoso. You have the Av bezdin that did bad. You don't put him into cherem. And oimer lo, he covered the shebe v'esach. They say stay home, don't come to work. We're not going to embarrass you by putting the cherem, but stay away. Then if chazer v'sarach, if he again committed averis menadinoso nechil Hashem, then they put him into cherem because it's a chil Hashem. However, pligid Reish Lakish, Dam Reish Lakish, Talmid Chacham shesarach, a Talmid Chacham that goes bad, ein menadinoso b'far hesya. You never put him into cherem in public. Shenemar, v'chashalta hayom, v'chashal gam naviim cha laila. That means kaseo cover him like night. Marzutra chasida, kim chayvetzum rabbanon shamta. When a Talmid Chacham was needed to be put into cherem, bereisha mishamis nafshi, he would put himself into cherem first. V'hoder mishamis ledide, then put the guy into cherem. Yahava ayel be'ushbisich. Then when he went home, shari lelo nafshi. Then he undid his own cherem. V'hoder shari lelo ledide, and he matir the other guy too. Amrav Gidol Amarat Talmid Chacham and Adil Latzmo. The Talmid Chacham can put himself into cherem. Umei for Latzmo can undo it. Amrav Papa Tesli D'Loshmisi Tzum Rabbanim Me'olam. I never put a Talmid Chacham into cherem. Ella ki kamachayv Tzum Rabbanim Shamta Echi Ovid. But if a Talmid Chacham required Shamta, what would you do? Ki had Barava Mimnu Anegida the Tzum Rabbanim V'lo Mimnu Ashamta. They gave him Malchus. They gave him Malchus, but not put him into cherem. Now, my Shamta, why the word Shamta? Amarav Sham Misa. It's like a little bit of death. Ushmul Amar Shmama yet. It should be like desolate. Umahanya Beikitichi Betanura. It's like when you take an oven and you put in the sides of the oven some fat. So the sides of the oven absorb the fat. You can always smell it there. So the fact that a person was put into cherem is going to be there forever. It's sort of inside the person. However, pligid Reish Lakish, Tam Reish Lakish, Kishem shenichneses b'masayim v'arbaim v'shmona evorim. When a person put into cherem, the cherem goes into 248 of his limbs. Kach kishi yotze b'masayim v'arbaim v'shmona evorim. It leaves completely. Kishenichnesach t'chsi v'aisai ir cherem. Cherem b'gematria masayim v'arbaim v'shmona ava. Cherem in Gematria is 248. Kishiyotze t'chsiv barog is Rachem Tiskor. Rachem b'Gematria Achi Avi was also 248. On Rav Yosef, Shadi Shamta Gnufta the Kalba. V'i Dido Avda. He put a cherem onto the tail of a dog, and it becomes part of him. It was a dog that was chewing up the shoes of the Chachamim. Nobody knew who was doing it. So they said whoever's doing it is in cherem. Isli beinur bignuvte v'achalte. So the dog's fire caught on the dog's tail caught on fire and it ate it and burnt him up. There was a strong, like a mafia guy, who was giving tzuras to a Talmid Chacham. Also, Kamed Rav Yosef. So the Talmid Chacham went to Rav Yosef. Zil Shamte, put him into cherem. No, so the Rav Yosef told the Talmid Chacham, put him into cherem. I'm afraid of him. So write it. So Kol Shekain to Mistafina Minei. I'll be more afraid. But write it and put it in a jug. And go take the jug and put it in the Beis HaKvaros. And blow shofar 1,000 times for 40 days. They did it. The jug exploded in this alma, and the mafia guy died. Okay. My shipur. Why a shofar? Shenifra in mimenu. It's a way to take revenge. The shofar poireya, like when you pay back. My tavra. Now you blow shvorim. There's tkiya, trua, and shvorim. But they would blow shvorim. Why shvorim? On Rav Yitzchak, Breda Rav Yehuda, Tavri Bate Rami. Because it can break high buildings. So even a great guy, like a big mafia guy, can be brought down. The Tanya Amar Shem Gamliel Kamakom Shanasu Chacham Meineim, when the Chacham would look at somebody and they were upset with somebody, O Misa O Oni, would cause death or poverty. Then it said, "V'nozir v'metzorim et tumasol taro." Oh, tomorrow night we're going to learn at 8:00 at night. Okay.
Okay.
Mario, just keep on sending me the recordings, please. Sorry, I'll be away. Okay, thanks. Israel's a little difficult to pick up at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I won't be. I'll be on the plane.
Remember, I used to do that. Remember, when I was at Yaakov, I taught at 6 in the morning.
But
It was nice.
6 in the morning, yeah.
It's a little early. It's a little early. But Nazar Matrama to Masal Tarasa. These people also can take a haircut. Cholamoy. Boy Rav Yim Rav Zeh B'Shalai Alam Pnai. Only that they didn't have time. Erev Yontif. Odilma Av B'Shai Alam Pnai. Or even if they had time. Amr Leitanina. Kol Elu Sharmu Mutarm Legalech B'Moed. All of these that we said are permitted to take a haircut. Cholamoy. B'Shalai Alam Pnai. It's only if they didn't have time. Erev Yontif. They're also. But that's everybody else. Nazir Mitzayr, Aval Bishaylam Pnai Mutarim. A Nazir Mitzayr are different. Even if they had time, they're still Mutar Cholamoid. Because Shlo Yashar Korban is saying they cannot bring their Korban until they take a haircut. So you don't want them to delay bringing their Korban. Tana. HaKohen V'Avel Mutarim B'Giluach. A Kohen and an Avel are Kohen who's joining the Mishmar, and an Avel can take a haircut. Hi, Avel Echidami. If the 8th day of his Avelis was Erev Yontif, so Iboil Galucha Be'er Regel. Well, there's no. Why are you giving him Cholamoy to do? He should have done it Erev Yontif. So really, his 8th day fell on Shabbos Erev Regel, but still, Iboil Galucha Erev Shabbos, you would be permitted to take a haircut on your 7th day because Miktas Yom Kekulo. Dam Rav Childam Ravina Bar Shila, Halacha Kabashol. And not only that, Abashol holds that if the Shiva ends before Yontif, not only does it finish Shiva, but it finishes Shloshim. Remember, you can't take a haircut until after Shloshim. But that once the Yontif comes, it blocks that Avelis. The Chachamim agreed Abashol that if the 8th day falls on Shabbos, which is Erev Yontif, and so therefore the 7th day was Friday, Shemut L'Galech B'Erev Shabbos. So what's the case, says the Gemara? Lo tzricha shechal shvi shelo b'Shabbos. That means the 6th day of his Avelis was Friday. The 7th day was Shabbos. And therefore, he hadn't finished his Shiva, so therefore, that's why he couldn't take a haircut. Tana bar savala kabashol. If the 7th day is Friday, and Shabbos starts either Erev Yontif or Yontif, so both the Shiva and the Shloshim are taken care of. Because given the Shabbos have an onusu. Tana didan savala krabonon. The Amri lo Amri Mitzvah Yom Kekulo. Chacham don't hold of Mitzvah Yom Kekulo. V'akati lo shlim Avelis to Shiva, and therefore the Avelis didn't finish. You need a full 7 days. By the way, I want to read the halacha in Shulchan Aruch Yoredeya, which we learned in Yoredeya. Misha cover Meser Shiva Yomim Koyra Regel. The Noag Avelis Shiva. Person kept Shiva prior to Yontif. Haregel Mavatul Mimeno Avelis Shloshim. Not only is Shiva over, but there's no Shloshim. Vafilu chal shvi shelo erev haregel, hare miktas yom kekulo. If the 7th day was erev yontif, it's not a problem. We hold like Abba Shol. that it's as if you did the full day. Umutur l'saper sar l'chabes utzrachis erva regel. You can take a haircut and launder and wash erev yontiv. Erev Pesach is mutar archa chatzos hayom. V'chein im chal shmini lavelo b'Shabbos erva regel. Let's say his 8th day is Shabbos, but Shabbos is erev yontiv. Mistaper mechaper is erev Shabbos. You can do everything which is his 7th la'avelo. Now, uvemikrim elim lo yistaper. If for whatever reason he didn't take a haircut, osur lo yistaper b'moed. He cannot take a haircut chol hamoed. But you can take a haircut after the moed. However, im chal shvi shelo b'Shabbos erev haregel, and therefore the 6th day is Friday. Kiven shelo yachol legaloch kodem haregel mutar b'disperse b'toch chol hamoed. Then you can take a haircut chol hamoed, but your shloishim is not wiped out because you didn't finish your shiva before the yontif. So back to the Gemara. Ha-koin echidami. What do you mean koin? Il mol d'shlam mishmar tev regel. He finished his mishmar erev regel. He boiled the galuch erev regel. He should have taken a haircut then. Lo tzricha d'shlam mishmar to bar regel. His mishmar ends in yontiv. So therefore, Tani dan savar kivan ditnan b'shloisha prokim b'shona. How you call a mishmar shavos be'mur aregolim uchiluk lekam aponim. 3 times a year, the various yomim tovim. All the mishmars could eat either the emurim or the lechem aponim. It's Kimandilo Sholim Mishmar to Beregel Dummy. And therefore it's considered that he didn't finish his Mishmar in Yontiv. V'tana Barasover, Ava Gav the Shaykh Malach Mishmars, Mishmar Temiyah Shlemali, but technically his Mishmars ended, so therefore he could take a haircut. All of those people we mentioned who could take a haircut, we said people went out of prison, people who came from a far distance. So mutar legalech b'mei evlon. These same people can take a haircut during avelis. Ve'ikmor vatanya asurin. Amrav Chizar Rav Shila kitanya hacha mutarin b'shetachafu avela. That's only if they had a double avelis, one after another. So I b'shetachafu avela ma'yer kolei l'shamra afilu kulam nami. So everybody would be able to take a haircut. Tanya techafu avela zachar zech bid saro mekel betar. If your hair is really heavy, you're allowed to use a shaver. You can't use detergent, but you can use water. So you can't use scissors, you can't use detergent. It comes from here, general rule, Ovel cannot do laundry. You can't cut your fingernails, Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yosi Matir. Just like we said, an Ovel cannot take a haircut in Avelis. You can't cut your fingernails during Avelis. Rav Yosi Matir. Amr Yehuda, Amr Hul Alach Rav Yehuda ba'Avel. Alach Rav Yosi b'Moed. Avel also l'chabes kol shivas me'avel. I'm reading Shulchan Aruch. And the Avel cannot launder his clothing during the Shiva. You can't wear freshly laundered clothing. After Shiva, you can. But some people are minig, the whole shloishim not to. But some are makel, if somebody else wore it a little bit, then the Ovel can wear it. Okay. Okay, guys, very good. Have a good week.